Your presence is important. All right. Okay, well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Take your comfortable seat, and we're going to stay sitting after we open. So, if that is helpful to sit in a very comfortable way. Sometimes it's nice too to just throw a blanket underneath your feet. You set yourself up so beautifully. You don't have to do that, but just, bring in the comfort. Okay, good. Let your hands rest. Let's take an inhale and we'll grow nice and tall. And as you exhale, let everything just soften, shoulders soften, face soften, even sides of your waist soften. And then just play with that as you inhale. Lengthen. As you exhale, you soften. And let your eyes close. And welcome yourself home. Feeling and hearing your breath. Noticing any place that's talking to you already, and maybe little subtle shifts of the rib cage, even the head might help. Okay. And take one more full inhale, lengthen tall. As you exhale, join the palms, bow your chin. As you invite yourself into your practice. And we'll call ourselves home 3 times. Inhale. Bow your chin, place your hands on your thighs, lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay, let's start. Just roll your wrists a couple times, just in each direction. Your shoulders can move a little bit and sneak the opposite cross of your legs in for a moment. Good. Stretch your arms out to the sides, flip your palms, press out, lift your heart, drop your shoulders. Take a little peek at your arms. If they're coming forward, that's okay. Maybe you need that. Maybe you can line them up. One more moment. And then we'll stay with the arms lifted. We're just going to turn the hands down. Open your heart. Stretch your fingers. You can even wiggle them here. And then keep the hands as they are. Now just turn the arms so that the fingers maybe come up to the ceiling, but we've turned the arms to make that happen. Good. I'm still wiggling my fingers. Drop the jaw. And release your hands to your thighs. This time, palms down. Just breathe here. And we're going to roll the shoulders. So just take them forward and back. Just roll your shoulders a couple times. Drop your jaw and reverse. And then we'll do opposite. So one shoulder and then the other. Kind of moving everything. And then reverse that. Just roll them out. Good. Okay. Come to your center. Bring your hands together. Interlace the fingers. We're going to press out and reach up. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. If you need to separate the arms or whatever you need to do that. Otherwise, lift up from the sides of your waist. And then the fingers kind of anchor into the backs of the hands. Gently pull the arms apart, even as they stay there. Feel the bobbing of your breath. If you want to look up, you can look up. And then settle in here somewhere where you can just be here. And if you need to bend the elbows, so be. Okay. I'm just dropping my gaze towards the floor. Let the jaw go. Feel into the top of the right shoulder, the top of the left shoulder. Is one lifting more than the other? You can find some equilibrium here. One more moment. Good. Inhale. And as you exhale, just separate the arms, take them all the way down, rest them on the floor, on your thighs, and just be here. Good. Okay, I'm gonna take a side bend. So right hand to the floor, left arm can reach up. And then crescent over. And we're gonna wave this. So you might come back up and then just move back in. Yeah. So feel this is like, oh, that gentle wake up. I'm gonna start to flex the palm as I take it over. Just find a little bit more here. And then the next time you come over to this right side, let's hang out there for a moment. Press your ribs over to the left, drop your right shoulder. Okay, let's start to circle this arm in whatever way and let the body turn. And you can go nice and slow. Maybe the head is moving. You can tune into that variation of cat-cow that's happening. Good. Just enjoy this. So whatever that means you need to do with your arm, do that. I'm going to change the direction here. Feel your breath. It's like you're doing this great dance. Inviting everything in and washing things over you, like what's happening outside right now. It's a huge amount of rain we're getting. Good. Okay, and the next time this left arm comes over, we're going to take it to twist. So I'm going to grab hold of this right knee, walk yourself upright, take the right hand behind you, lift yourself up, and as you exhale, just turn into your twist. Maybe walk the right hand behind you more, see if that helps. A little bend in the right elbow, open the right shoulder. And then let's floss. So just gently turn. You can turn your head all the way to the left and then back. And just nice and slow, you're moving with your breath. Feel this great opening and offering. Whatever is happening is good. Good. And then maybe I'm going to do one more and then settle into the twist. And then turn the left palm to face out. Now I know I said we're still in opposite cross of the legs. If that's not good for you, you're going to just take care of that. See if you can move your ribs a little bit to the left. And then anchor into your right hip. Inhale. Maybe release this completely. Just come to sit for a moment. Just take the repose. And feel. Drop your gaze to the floor. Drop your jaw. Good. Okay. Stretch your legs out. Whatever you need to do, come back. Go habitual cross if you like. We're going to do that sequence again. So we'll bring the hands together. Opposite, interlace the fingers. Press away and reach up. And then find this, this place that sometimes can be very uncomfortable. You also feel very tight. So release what you can, move what you need to, and then find a way to settle in here into this. Notice if you're gripping in your jaw, even the tops of the shoulders, like right at the top here. You might want to just drop down a little bit. And feel your tailbone is, dropping towards the floor. And close your eyes if you like. Good. One more moment. Inhale. And exhale, let the arms release out to the sides, touch the earth and rest on your thighs. Be in this repose for a moment, and then we'll move to side bend. And take the left hand to the floor, reach the right arm up, and then crescent over and just move, side to side or wave it. This opening. Find your sacred dance here. You can even feel maybe that the right hand is dancing around. I'm going to start to flex the wrist a little more. So just give it a little bit more. And then next time you come over to the left side, let's just hang out there. Find this how can you open here? Shifting the ribs to the right, opening, maybe lifting the chest, turning more towards the sky if that's there. And inhale. As you exhale, just drop this right hand to your left knee and we'll walk ourselves upright and find your way into your twist. And then once you've found it, we'll floss it and just move front to back. Just anchoring what you can. So the right hand into the left knee there might be a good anchor. Using the floor behind you. And then turning into your twist. Maybe walk the left hand back a little more. So if you can open this more. And then as I come into it, I'm going to turn the right palm out, anchor the back of the hand, move the ribs more to the right side, and then anchor. I'm just dropping the left side of the hip or left side of the waist. And then the almighty breath can flow. Get one more breath. Release yourself, come in to the repose, sitting and the receiving. Good. Okay, I'm going to change the cross of the legs again. I'm actually going to change the way the cross is too. So, you can tuck the heels in nice and close to the groins, but you can also move them away. And if you move them away, you see how maybe that's better for you the way you're sitting. Give it a try. If you don't like that, just go back. Okay, pause here for a moment. Good. Okay, I'm going to take the left hand across to the right knee. Let's just move into twist for a moment, just to kind of find that. And if you need to lift the left knee, or lift the right knee, do that. Now I'm going to take the right arm and reach it up, and then crescent over to the left side. So if this knee lifts up a lot, that's fine. Use it as an anchor. Okay, if you're good here, you can put your hand behind your head. And I'm just going to turn and move this in some awkward way in this very tight place. Good. Okay. Do one more. I'm going to settle in. Maybe you keep the arm behind your head if that's helpful. Take it out. Flex the wrist if that's there. You can look down. You can look straight. One more breath. Okay, come on out. Sit for a moment. Okay, I'm going to change the cross and keep the feet a little bit away. They're crossed about mid-shin. Good. Feel. And then we'll just move into twist on the left side, just to kind of get everything here, really anchor into that knee, even if it lifts. And then bring yourself back to face front, lift the left arm up, and crescent yourself to the right side. And you let that knee lift as much as you need to. Okay, be here if it works. Grab behind your head, and I'm just going to turn it up and down, get into these little niggly places. Yes, and then we'll bring it back. I'm going to say rest into this in some way, but feel where the anchor is. One more breath. And come up and sit for a moment. Good. Okay. All right, I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together. And so if you need to put something underneath your knees, do that. Let's give these feet a little bit of love, a little massage. I'm just getting along the arches of the feet, the part that's facing you, that soft part. Get in there. Good. Okay. All right. So we're going to stay sitting in Baddha Konasana. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together and open the toes. So if you need to anchor, my knees are lifting here. I'm just squeezing in. Take your hands to the floor, lift yourself up. And then see, can you soften a little bit into the inner groins? So you're just like feeling, can I maybe release the glutes a little bit? Feel like I'm spreading out from the middle of your tush along the cheeks. Just feel whatever that is. Bring your mind there. Okay, I'm going to reach up And the arms might go this far, they might go up. Lift yourself up, anchor the feet, drop the jaw, drop the shoulders. And take 2 more breaths. Smile into it, into your discomfort, into your pleasure. And then we release, coming into forward fold. So I'm going to let everything melt here. Bring the hands to the floor. Spread your fingers. Be here for a few moments in your forward fold. And I'm about 50% here into this. Just going to allow myself to just be here. And then we'll start to wave this. So you're just moving your shoulders. Maybe it feels that the shoulders are moving. Maybe it feels like the ribs are moving. Okay, I'm gonna walk the hands forward, come in a little deeper if that's there for you. I'm still waving side to side. We're gonna find a place here where maybe the head can start to release forward. And the hands are anchored. The breath is soft. And let's take one more moment. And then release yourself out of this. And as you walk yourself upright, hands come to the floor. We'll lift the knees up, stretch the legs out. And I'm going to keep some space between the legs. I'm going to move those toes, those feet in and out. So we're getting right into this inner hip crease area. So good. Good. Okay. So we're coming back to sit. You're going to go habitual sit. You decide where you want to put your heels, in or out. Find your place. If you need to sit on something higher, bring that in. You're going to take the hands to the knees, and we'll do some seated cat-cow. So you're just going to move your chest forward and back. We're going to take this into circling. So if you prefer your hands on the floor, that's fine. Start to circle your rib cage. And if you need to close your eyes, so you feel this dance. You know, imagine that we are in the movie Avatar, and when they were all sitting in front of the ancestral tree. I haven't seen the movie for a long time, but I love that part. You're all just moving, breathing together. Okay, reverse your circling. You know, this is your birthright almost. You know, you have this great, you know, gift of embodiment, gift of dance, gift of rhythm. Good. Okay. And then I'm just going to go one time in each direction. Great. Okay, bring yourself to center. Hands to the floor. Change the cross of the legs. And we're going to come to forward fold. But first I'm going to lift the arms. You find your place here. Okay, I am cutting the feet in, and I'm actually hugging the knees in towards each other. This is an anchor. And take 3 breaths here. Good. One more. And then you'll inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, bring yourself into your version of forward fold here. And again, I'm going to come into this place, maybe 50%, so I can let the heart melt, the head melt, and start to move your body side to side. Good. And then come into center, and if you want to walk in a little deeper, find that. Feel the press of the heels of your hands. Imagine you're in downward dog almost. Let the jaw go, head go. And let the glutes go. One more breath. Good. And then walk yourself upright. Good. Take your hands to the floor, stretch your legs out, find some space, and again, move the feet in and out. And now we're going to start to just roll the ankles too. So find your sit here. You know, sit up on your sit bones, sit up tall, and then we'll start to roll the ankles. And maybe you do the wrists at the same time. We'll reverse, like maybe every 3 times, reverse. Yes. Okay, now let's do some brain gym. So right, if you're using the right wrist, I'm going to do right wrist, left foot, and then I'm going to switch. And we'll just do that a few times. So You're just working your brain gym. Sit up tall. Don't forget to sit up tall. Good. I'm going to do one more. Maybe I'll reverse the circling. Whew. Funny how challenging. I don't know. For me, this is challenging. Okay. And then we'll just flex the hands, flex the feet. I'm going to press the arms away. Sit up tall. Drop your shoulders. Lift your heart. Take the belly in a little bit. Good. Flex your feet. Flex your wrists. Sit up. And release. And just let everything go. Okay. You're going to bend in the left leg. Keep the right leg straight as it is. Just going to hold on to the front of the shin here. Lift yourself tall. And we're going to start to turn to the right. So you can take your right hand behind you. Turn. And then once you're in your turn, now bring that elbow to the inside of the knee. And you can just press into that. Bring your belly in. Maybe take your hand and hold your heart. Maybe with that. Good. Okay, feel into your right foot. You can look at it if you want to. Is it dropping out? Can you bring it back? One more breath. Good. And release. Come to your center. I'm going to take the right hand. Just going to hold on to this outer shin. Now lean back. Take your left hand, lean back. Maybe you walk this left foot in. You kind of see what feels good. Then I'll take the hand up to the outside of the knee. Lengthen and start to turn. So if my hand is back, I'm actually leaning back. And turn. Now I will wrap that inner elbow around the front of the knee if that's there for you. Walk the left hand in and twist. So you're just hugging this left knee in. I'm also anchoring the left sit bone to the floor. Let the right leg extend if it wants to. Drop your jaw, drop your shoulders. Inhale. And release. And as you come back to sit, now I'm going to drop this knee out. So if you need to put something there, do that. Okay, we're going to come to forward fold here. So you put that foot wherever you need. We did this little trick in tree pose the other day where I anchored the baby toe, lifted the heel. And then with the heel there, I'm just pushing down, anchoring the inner thigh. Okay, be here. Again, I'm going to lift the arms. So if you're okay in the back, lift your arms. Lift yourself up, turn your heart to face that right knee. Good. So often into that hip crease a little bit. And then release your arms down wherever they need to go. The head can start to drop and walk in. Once you're down, again, I'm going to floss. So, maybe you don't go down that far yet. Just going to turn yourself. Breathe here. Good. Come to center. And then if there's space, walk yourself in a little more. We haven't really done anything to open the backs of the legs. So this is it. So just be with that, flexion of the foot a little bit, the opening of the back of the leg. And you're just going to soften around it, into it. You need to relax the left leg. You can do that. Okay, just let yourself melt here. So maybe the elbows bend. And the shoulders can drop. And then just feeling the breath. All of this spaciousness. Okay, so you're in a place where you can be relaxed here. So if that's still upright with the head dropping, that's it. That's good work. Okay, another 5 or so breaths. Soften what you can, receive the stretch. Good. Okay, last breath. And then very slowly, maybe you keep your eyes closed, you walk yourself upright, and we're going to come into twist. We're just going to take that right hand over. It might go in front of the shin, might go all the way over. Walk the left hand. If you need to bring the left hand back and find space first, and then come up, do that. Good. Breathe here. Good. Okay, bring yourself back to center. Okay, I'm going to change this. So let's see, I'm just going to grab a block. I'm going to cross this over, and some of you might get knee over knee. And if that's not going to happen, you could even just stay with this. This is just so I can anchor a little bit. I'm going to get more stretch underneath that leg. So if I take it over, you might use your block in some way to support it. Okay, so find whatever you need. Make it your own. Sit up nice and tall. Just feel this lift. And then we start to come forward. And maybe you start by bowing your head first, because that might just be enough. Then we'll sneak the hands forward. And we're looking for that same experience that we just had, where we want the body to rest and allow the stretch to happen at the underside of the leg somewhere. Okay, if I flex the foot, I'm getting a little bit more in the calf, in the back of the shin. Okay, you can walk your hands more forward if there's space, or you walk them back. And then just be here as best as you can for 5 breaths or so. The shoulders drop, the head drop. Breathe into your discomfort, maybe your pleasure. Get one more breath. And then we'll very lovingly lift ourselves up. Okay, I'm going to take the right hand down. Left hand's going to find this heel. I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to lift it up. And if you need to bend this right leg in, you do that. Okay, I'm going to keep mine out. I'm going to take the right arm off the floor. And then note it, I'm just going to emphasize this. Maybe you're tilting more to one side. Can you find balance? Can you find balance here? Yes, beautiful. Oh my gosh, yoga journal worthy. Beautiful. One more breath. Okay, let's cross it over like we do. Take the right hand all the way over to the baby toe edge of the foot. Left hand can come to the floor. It can go out to the side. I'm going to cross this leg over. And then just be here. And again, feel, oh, am I tilting? If I push out more through this left foot, it's going to anchor the left hip. Maybe you're turning. Look at your left thumb if you've lifted the arm. Good. Okay, come to center. Let's hold the foot with both hands. So I have my thumbs are here too. And I'm just going to lift the leg. Now, you might lean back here a lot. And that's okay. See if you can find upright. One more breath. Look at your toes. Okay, I'm going to release the hands and let the leg come down all by itself. Oh, like magic. Oh, lift it up again. Oh, bring it back down. Oh, one more time. And then we'll bring it back down. And then hands to the floor. Separate your legs. Do this again. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Second side. So we're going to start with just bending the right leg. Left leg is extended. And I have nice space here. You're going to take the left hand, hold on to the outside of the front of the shin, lift yourself up, and then start to turn to the right. You walk your right hand back, open your right side of your chest, and the hand might come up to the outside of the knee, or you might wrap the elbow around the front of the knee. And then be here. Breathe. Soften the insides of you. Like anchor into your sit bones, lift your heart, and then melt everything in. Good, inhale. And release. Come back to your center. Good, okay. Oh, maybe I did that backwards. I did do it backwards. Okay, no problem. Let's do the other side. So we'll take the right hand, hold the front of the shin. Lift yourself up, turn to the left. And then as you turn, walk the left hand behind. Maybe the right hand holds the front of the knee, or the elbow comes to the inside. And we anchor elbow and knee. Yes, okay, just feel in your mind's eye or look at your left foot. Is it dropping out? Can we take the toes up? Just to bring the leg into its alignment. Okay, breathe into your twist. Maybe we take the hand to the heart. Inhale. And release this. Okay, so now we're going to just take this in. And again, use your props. Find this for yourself. It feels good. And then if you're good, open it up. Just reach up. The arms can go wherever they need to. Maybe they need to come forward. Maybe you can lift up. Good. One more breath. And then we take it into forward fold. So wherever you need to put these hands, friends, do that. And again, I'm going to come to not full expression of the pose, so I can wave my chest side to side, move the shoulders. Like we're irrigating our bodies. There's so much rain. Plants are going to be so happy. Do the same to ourselves. And then come to center, walk yourself in. And you're going to find we're here for, a little bit. So let yourself, how can you make yourself so comfortable in the discomfort? And how can you use this pose? You're in it right now. What's it going to offer you? And then you just soften your breath into that. As if almost you're putting like from the waist up baby to bed. And notice any shaking. Sometimes muscles start to shake. That's a normal thing. If you don't like it, you can back out a little bit or just experience that. Okay, our last few breaths here. Melt in more if you can. Fill yourself up with your breath. And then we'll walk ourselves upright. Come to rest for a moment. Okay, now I'm going to take this leg across, and maybe it's going to go knee over knee, and maybe not. So you modify as you need. Okay, I'm just sitting up a little higher. My right foot is a little flexed, left foot's a little flexed, and then find your height and your length. Good. Okay, so to come in this time, because it is going to be more intense, we're just going to start by dropping the head, and then you'll let the hands walk forward, almost like you're melting into this. And the hands will walk until you start to feel, that deep opening in the underside of the left leg. And add a little more flexion to the left foot. Maybe you spread the toes. And then as if you're putting like everything from the waist up to bed. This full pose is actually forehead to the knee. And when I do that, I get such an intense stretch happening. So even just tucking your chin, and feel into, even your sit, you might feel like, oh, one hip's coming forward a little bit. See if you can balance yourself even in this deep, deep forward fold. And just take 2 more breaths. Breathing into everything on offer. And very lovingly walk yourself upright. Keep the left hand on the floor. The right hand's going to come across. Catch the heel. And again, we're going to take it out. If you need to bend the left leg in, do it. And the left hand can stay on the floor. Come up. Okay, here I'm going to just feel, can I find balance in my sit bones? I push out more through the right leg. Get one more breath. And then we'll switch. So let's take it across, whole left hand, open the right arm, can touch the floor as you turn or can stay, puppy. And good. And then breathe. And just incorporating everything we've been practicing. So the lengthening, the lifting, the opening. Good. And then bring yourself back, and we'll use both hands, even if you bend the knee a lot. Hold it in. Lift it up, and notice if you're tucking back, and that's there's value in that too. Can you sit on your sit bones? Can you breathe? And even look at your toes. Good. Okay, and then we're going to release the hands, lower the leg down, and lift it back up. Take it down. One more time. Master of your own leg. Bring it down. Beautiful. Take your hands down. Open your legs. Move your feet in and out. Good. Okay. I'm going to open the legs wide. So make whatever you need to do to make this comfortable. Sometimes something under the knees is nice. And maybe something under the heels, because I'm really rooting the heels into the floor here. The toes are spreading, all of that's happening. Okay, and then just feel the evenness between the two sides. Maybe if you take your hands to the tops of the thighs and just push down for a moment. So you're not, but make sure your tops of your thighs are soft, so they're not gripping. Okay, and then come back. I'm going to lift the arms again. So you have to support yourself on the inside so the back isn't taking it all. Lift the arms if that's there. Okay, again, I'm rooting the heels into the floor, almost like I'm pulling the floor back. The knees might lift a little bit off the floor. Breathe, lengthen. Okay, one more breath. And now release your hands to the floor. We're going to wave again. So you come wherever you need those hands to be. Spread your fingers if they're in front of you and start to wave this torso. Okay, do that a few times. And then when you're ready, come into your full expression of this pose. And you might have this, I say downward dog arms, almost like the hands are rooting, pushing the floor away. The arms are strong. Just melt the heart, possibly in between the arms. Okay. You could even add a little cat-cow if you're not sure, or if you're not feeling enough. If you add a little bit of cat-cow and some movement here. And I'm just going to melt into the full expression of the pose, into just being able to be soft. Allow the inseam of the legs to receive this. Melting the heart down. And letting your head go. And be with your breath. Okay, we're here for another 3 or 4 breaths or so. Just melt yourself in a little more. And put the upper torso to bed. Just relaxing. Get one more breath. And then as if, reluctantly, press yourself upright. Okay, if you need to move your legs around, do that. From here, I'm just going to fold the left leg in now. So again, it's this wider Janu Shirshasana, and we're going to turn to face this right leg. And as you turn, say maybe you want to suck that hip in, the leg might want to come in. That's going to help you turn. You just kind of feel, what do I need to do to be in this turn? And we've turned so many times. So I'm just walking that right hand behind me more, as if I'm going to look over the right shoulder. What's happening over there that I can't see? Move your eyes as much as you can. Look as far to the right. Soften into your left sit bone a little bit. And then inhale. And exhale. Walk yourself over this right leg. Okay. I'm just going to feel this. You can floss it a little bit. Things are a little tighter. Whenever you're ready, just come into this stretch. If you want to take the left hand over, you can do that. Okay, so now I'm feeling into this bent left leg. I'm not looking at it, I'm just feeling into it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take the outer left hip and draw it a little more towards the floor.
Soften through the left shoulder a little bit. And just tilting a little bit more to the left. Maybe the head drops to the left a little bit. Take 2 more breaths. Okay. And then lovingly release yourself. Come to sit for a moment, just like this. Don't change anything. Good. Okay, I'm going to slip in, show person. So take this left hand down. Right hand's going to turn the right foot. And then you're just going to pop yourself up here. You might walk your right foot back. I just did that. Reach up, crescent over. Press out through the right leg. Anchor this left shin. And then release and come back to sit. Good. Let's bring the soles of the feet together for a moment. Give them a little bit of love. And then we'll do the second side. So keep the right leg in. The left leg is going out, and use your props. Adjust yourself on your sit bones. Good. Okay. And then we're going to be here for a moment. Just feel. Okay. Good. Okay. Now I think we lift it. Yes. Lift your arms. And feel your breath. It's lengthening. It's almost like lifting myself up. Even as I'm rooting into the earth, I'm lengthening. Turn to face this leg and then release your arms down. We're going to come into this twist. Okay, you're going to turn to look over your left shoulder. So maybe the left hand needs to walk back more. And I'm on my pads and my fingers. I'm anchoring to the floor. You could even throw a block in there. And now turn your eyeballs as much to the left as you can. If you really want to see what's happening over there. One more breath. Good. And then release the heart to the center, facing the knee. Walk yourself into this in a really loving, really present way. How can I get the most out of this? So if the right hip is lifting, I'm just going to bring it back down through the outer hip. And once you're in it, if you want to take the right hand over to the outside of the left foot, you can do that. It's not necessary. And then maybe you floss a little bit into this shape. Floss as long as you like, and then melt into this. And I'm going to add in a little bit of extra. So I'm rooting down through the outer right hip, back down to the floor. So it's even the right side of the waist pressing through the hip. I'm going to drop the right shoulder a little bit more. Maybe the head is going to turn to the left and kind of drops into that right arm. And just dropping into wherever you need to be here for the next few breaths. Beautiful. Okay, release from this. Just come to sit upright for a moment. We're going to show person on the second side. So the right hand comes down, and we use the left hand, turns the left foot, we pop up. And then as I come up, I'm just going to bring this left leg back. You might even turn the right foot back more. Stretch through the left side. Let that left leg really anchor right to the foot. Open this. Feel the right knee pressing down. And then release. And come back to your sit. Oh, gosh, feels good. Okay, I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to take a Baddha Konasana forward fold. I'm moving them away. Put something under your knees. Take time. Okay, so this time I'm going to do a Karmasana, and that's the arms underneath. If that's not your jam, that's all fine. Just take it to a forward fold. We'll start by lifting the arms. I'm going to press the soles of the feet together. Lift up through the low belly, right to the solar plexus, sides of the waist lift. Even the low back lifts up. And then as you exhale, bring yourself in. And maybe the hands come inside, you lift your knees, walk your hands. Maybe you're just resting on the hands or the forearms. Letting my feet, they're just sliding out a little bit more. So they're not really close. With a nice diamond shape. And then we'll just melt in. Okay, so if you have your forearm, it doesn't matter, but if you do have your forearms underneath your shins, then the weight of the shins into the forearms is therapeutic. It's very relaxing. Wherever shape you're in, let your head go, let your jaw go, melt yourself here into this very opening shape. Notice if, anything that's talking to you, you just say, oh, I see you, right inner hip or whatever it is, name it. Be with it. Take one last full breath in, sigh it out as you are. And then very, very lovingly, as you come out of this, we'll just come to sit for a moment. Okay, just as you are. I'm going to bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. Okay, no surprises. I'm going to lift the legs up. So I'm sitting on my prop. That might be a hindrance for you. It might be help. You try it. And you could do one leg at a time, or you take them both up. And even if you fall, make sure there's something soft behind you. Push into the heels. Lift your heart. Open yourself here. Like this is like a great party trick at your next dinner party. Look what I can do. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love that. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful, you guys. One more breath. And then release. Maybe you kiss your toes. One. Come on down. Take your hands out, stretch your legs out. And last time, we'll just move these toes in and out. Okay. All right, we're going to come onto our backs now. And we are going to be there for Shavasana. So if you need anything, grab your heating pads. Okay, I do want to close with a chest opener. So I'm going to put this bolster just this way, and I'm going to put the back of the heart here, and maybe you take your other blanket or your block even for your head if you need that. Okay, my heating pad because I need that. It's like a necessity now. It's so nice. If I don't have it, I'm like, it's not as comfortable. Okay, so lie with your shoulder blade supported, head supported, however high you need that to be. That's fine. And we'll just open the arms. Maybe they rest on the bolster. It's still all happening. Or maybe they come over top of the bolster. And your legs can go straight out or they can be bent. Let's just receive this. Twists we did a lot of twists and forward folds, in case you didn't notice. And that's very, very opening for the chest area, back, the front, the sides. Okay, if you're comfortable here to take the arms over your head, they don't have to go you don't have to be super strong, and elbows can be bent. And just open up the breath space in the chest a little bit more. And so for these next few moments that you're here, feel that this is all about the breath. I can allow myself to be very heavy and feel the breath really expanding all these, the front and the back and the sides of your chest. And fill yourself up. Nourish. And if you've taken the arms over the head, just bring them back down now, whatever that is comfortable for you. And be with that little bit of change. Okay, I'm going to bend the knees, feet to the floor, and take some windshield wiper. So walk your feet wide apart and just windshield wiper very gently, just to release all of that twist. And because we have the chest supported, you might feel this happening all the way up to the sides of the waist. Good. Okay, next time your knees drop to the right, let's just roll ourselves over and up, and we're just going to change the way we have the bolster. So take this little blanket out and turn the bolster into a Shavasana 2. And this other blanket now can just go on the edge of the top of the bolster if you like that. Okay, I'm just going to sit behind, and the hips can go right against the bolster and they can go further away. You decide what you need for your low back. And then we'll come to lie again here, take the arms out, a little bit of a different chest opener. And we'll do that same work. So legs can be stretched straight or they can be bent. So by that work, I mean, here is we're in with the breath. Okay, just really feel the breath. Adjust the bolster as you need to. I'm a little close to the wall. I'm just going to move it away. Feel your breath. The arms can come over your head comfortably. They might even, because we have this bolster now, I can even grab opposite elbows and my forearms are just going to rest on the bolster. So any way that feels okay to just take your arms a little bit above shoulder height or a lot above. And to really be with that breath filling the sides, front, the backs of the chest area. Creating movement and fluidity and freshness and vitality, maybe healing. Okay, if you're holding opposite elbows, let's change the way the hands are. And I'm going to move the feet into a Baddha Konasana here. And I know there's no props, so if that's not comfortable for you, just bend the knees, feet on the floor, and let the knees kind of drop out. Whereas now when we change the position of the legs, we open up the breath in the belly. And just be with that flow of your breath. How can you maximize this opening so you're breathing nice and full? So that all sides, the length, the width, the depth, the height of your torso. Let's take one more breath here. And release the arms back out to a comfortable place. Good. Okay, we're going to windshield wiper again. So find that place for you and then very lovingly, gently just rocking side to side. Good. Feel free to hang out on one side or the other if you feel something that needs more time. Okay, friends. Just going to settle into Shavasana. I'm going to keep the bolster where it is. It's Shavasana 2. If you like that, I'll have a second pad. I'll keep bring that in. So if you like that, great. If not, you can make this Shavasana whatever you need it to be. And coming into this great rest. Just a reminder that this is one of the hardest poses. You have a very busy mind, a very busy, you like to be busy. And when you come here, it's like, oh, what am I doing? But you know what you're doing. You're feeding into this idea of conscious relaxation. Let the body relax into all the supports. Feel into any tension you're holding in the jaw, the third eye, the shoulders, the belly. And do your best to breathe into these places. Even as we're getting into the Shavasana place, but if you know some part of your body that needs a little bit of healing, if you'd like to just put your hands there, any place, just holding with the sides of your upper chest or any place here, then just take a moment to place your hands in that place and remind yourself that you're in this together. I'm here for you, you're here for me. this investment into our own health, which is our wealth. And whenever you're ready, you can release the hands and just be in your rest. Soften the eyes to the back of the skull. It's a way of inviting the body and all the senses to rest. The sacred time you've carved out for yourself to simply be. To offer yourself your own medicine. Shavasana. Just dropping into this deepest state of relaxation that you can right now. Mind, body, breath, and spirit. All aware of each other, supporting each other. Not very long Shavasana, so please stay if you are just dropping in. Or you say, oh, maybe I'll take a little Shavasana at about 2:30 when the body needs it. Okay, so if you're ready, start to make little movements through the feet, through the wrists, the ankles. And stretching your arms over your head for a moment or two. Just continuing on in a way that is nourishing and really honoring, not rushing this the way we used to in aerobics in the 80s. Rush out, thank you for being here, but take your time. You honor the rest, you honor the rising up, the waking up. We honor it all as we bring ourselves back in a really conscious way. Oh, so beautiful. Take your time. Yes, I love it. Take your time. You know, we live in a busy world. Rush, rush, rush. Consciously slow ourselves down. That's a good practice. All right, so once you've taken a few moments in your sit, lengthen yourself and join the palms together in front of your heart. Bow your chin. You honor your practice and your presence and the good work you invested in yourself right now. Okay, and we'll seal this practice with our mantra prayer. We send it out to each other. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale this breath completely. And we'll inhale fully. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. Inhale for Om. Om. Breathe into your hands, hold it there and put there what you need. And then lift your chin and offer this to yourself, offer this prayer to yourself. And then we share it because if you need it, probably the rest of us do too. And we'll bring it on back, multiplied by many. Yes. And your great, great love and great honoring. Namaste, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I honor your presence. I honor your practice. So much love. Mwah. See you in your next class. Thank you, all of you. See you soon. Enjoy this lovely rainy day. Thank you. Thank you. See you.